welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I highlight and annotate my first aid and pathoma as well, because I do them the same. So I recently started doing this year, so I hope you guys find what I do helpful. It helps cut down time on if I ever need to refer to something, because I have everything highlighted in a systematic way that it lets, like, after repetition, like, of highlighting certain things a certain color, I automatically, if I'm looking for just the treatment of a certain disorder, I automatically look for a certain color and I know that. So let me just explain everything and I'll get right to it. Okay, so currently we are on the reproductive system, and so this is a page in first aid on reproductive disorders of sexual disorders, basically. So to start off, I used basically all the colors of the rainbow to highlight. So I use green, blue, all these colors. So the way it works is green is for mechanism of actions or causes. Orange is for treatment, or if it's a drug, what is the drug used for? And then purple is for something that's high yield, or sometimes it could be an interesting fact, but most of the time it's high yield. Pink is for something's clinical presentation, like labs. Usually for labs, I'll underline pink. Or if it's a drug, it's for side effect of that drug, like adverse effects. Yellow is for genetics, and blue is for the prognosis of something, or if it's associated with anything. So when I do it this way, if I'm ever looking for something, for example, if during step setting, if I'm going back to placental aromatase deficiency, I'm like, okay, what is this? What causes it? And what is the presentation? So it cuts down on me having to read everything that's not highlighted. So right here for Turner syndrome, right? Something high yield is that the femoral pulses are going to be less than the brachial pulses, and that's because they're going to have coarctation. And then in terms of writing things on the side, this is usually from either UWorld or Boards and Beyond. So this has a lot of disorders that are they're very similar in their presentation, right? So androgen insensitivity syndrome and 5-alpha reductase deficiency, they're both going to have sort of ambiguous genitalia. So I wrote this down to sort of help me with differentiating the deficiencies. So if I go to anything, automatically I know this is autosomal recessive, this is the chromosomal, what chromosomes they have, and then ambiguous genitalia, and little side notes of what it is. And I basically do that. This was for the page before, but it didn't fit here, so I just put it over here. And this is a little chart to follow. This is from, I think, Boards and Beyond, because I really had a hard time trying to figure out if they give me a child, how to know if it's from maternal androgens and all that stuff. But anyways, so choriocarcinoma, right? I'm reading this. What is a choriocarcinoma? Oh, it's a malignancy of trophoblastic tissue. Okay. High yield. What is high yield to know about this? No chorionic villi are present. This is the most high yield thing that I need to know about it. And the way I know if things are high yield is pathoma. When I watch my pathoma videos, it'll tell me, oh, this is a very high yield fact. Or if I'm doing UWorld questions, as everyone knows, UWorld is the holy grail. And there's a UWorld question on it, I'll go back and I'll highlight the concept purple, this is a UWorld question, therefore it's high yield. And then here, they didn't have the treatment here, so I just put it in here. I should highlight this orange, is methotrexate. And then a prognosis would be that fact that it spreads to the lungs in cannibal metastasis. And then here's some shortness of breath, hemoptysis. And everything else is I don't really need to read it, going back. for step setting. Or like a hydatidiform mole, how is it treated, dilation and curettage, and methotrexate, and all that stuff. Now let me show you the farm. Like farm is pretty much the same way. Where is it? I have more highlighting in farm just because everything's kind of already broken up in farm. So it's like more highlighting than normal. Like they already break it up by mechanism, clinical use, and adverse effects. So I kind of just highlight that. Let me show you guys pathoma. So pathoma is pretty much the exact same way. I have the same colors. I guess you guys can like screenshot this of how I do it. But sometimes I have like a little stuff on the side just because they said it in pathoma. So I'll write if it's something they said in the pathoma video that I thought was interesting or that I didn't understand, I'll like write it out. Like this is some physio that they said was high yield, so I wrote it out. But yeah, in terms of like underlining those colors, sometimes if something's like high yield but I don't think it's that high yield, I'll like it's like really weird, I'll underline it that purple instead of like coloring the whole thing purple. So if something's last minute, I'm like, okay, well this is highlighted and this is just underlined, so like not that important. And same thing for like pink. Stuff that's pink underline is more so important. Lab values versus like pink highlight is clinical presentation is like that. So yeah, that's how I highlight and annotate. In terms of annotating, there's some people that like write so much on the sides. Like they'll have like a story on every side. They say that it's not good to do that just because like, are you really gonna go back and read that? Like it's gonna take you too much time to do that, and you're probably not gonna read like all that stuff that you have on the side of like every page. Like that's too much. So I try not to write if I don't need to. I'll do like just little side notes, but they say it's not good to annotate too much. So yeah, so that was a quick short video on how I annotate and mainly highlight my first aid to cut down time on reviewing, and hopefully when I do my step studying, it cuts down time on going back to first aid and all that stuff. Like clearly I'm still gonna read everything, but in terms of second passes, it's gonna help me cut down that and focus on what's important. And then like repetition, like when I first started highlighting everything, I had to like keep going back like, oh, what was orange again? Oh, but now it's like I see orange, I'm like, okay, orange, like treatment of type 1 diabetes mellitus, like treatment lifelong insulin. Like right away I see that, and it's just like I don't have to read through this whole thing to find out the treatment. I just go straight to treatment. So yeah, I hope you guys found that helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button wherever it is, and stay tuned for more videos. Bye.